And welcome everybody to another Wednesday episode of War Commander Unshackled. This is a welcome back Cotter kind of episode. I want to first introduce my short panel so far. I have David Dark Shadows. I have the quintessential super sportsman Godscope, the real Slim Shady, troll of all trolls, and myself, Venom. Lady Warrior, unfortunately, she's out there watching the show. We appreciate her, but she can't run or be on today. Her computer's running a little hot, so I wish her the best of luck with that so that her PC gets fixed and she starts running nice and cool on these summer days.
Is it our PC running hot or is she running
Fan. Well, she's always running hot. No, her PC's running hot, so fan issues. So, gentlemen, anything you have to say hello or whatever?
Fuck you, Venom.
Okay, that sounds about right.
How's it going, everybody?
Cello, cello, cello.
Shout out to everybody watching. How's everybody's day out on YouTube?
I'm watching YouTube right now. I have no clue because nobody's saying, "What's up?"
Fan issues. Well, first and foremost, I want to get this out of the way. I owe everyone in the Unshackled community a great deal of respect and an apology, and an even larger heartfelt apology to the gentleman on the far right of the screen here, Mr. David. Throughout misinformation, with all the change that they were doing with when these shows were going to go, I just wanted to take this time to formally state, as far as this goes, from this day forward, until such time as it has to change, absolutely. We will continue to have our update release shows today, Wednesdays of each week, at the 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The only time where we will adjust it and have our downtime and release note shows will be when Kixeye bumps their downtime to Thursday, which they've stated is only following the monthly events. So typically you're going to be able to tune in on Wednesdays and see the shows. If there's going to be a Thursday show, we're going to post the very nice banner that David did at my call that I made him suffer so much, specifically for those Thursdays. So I apologize for all the confusion that I caused, and I apologize for the extra effort that David took on and the responsibility he took. So I appreciate it. And with that said, buckle your seatbelts, keep your trays in their upright positions. We have Anton Airlines.
Evening. Sorry for being a bit late there. Thank you, guys.
You're never late.
I'm going to say this and say this now. I hate doing freaking banners. To get that screen size just right, even though you set it to what the specifications they say you need to do, it never shows up right.
But as the official art director of War Commander Unshackled, it is his duty and his responsibility to take on that great challenge.
Yeah. So now, whoever can tell me where that picture came from, and it has a PayPal account, I'll gift him $5.
Damn it!
The first person.
I have no idea. I don't have a PayPal account anyway, and I have no idea. So
neither do I. So that's me out. What's the agenda?
Out on the YouTube, you've got an opportunity. If you have a PayPal account, David's putting his money where his mouth is. So with
you have until the end of the show to tell me where that picture came from.
There you go. So, be that as it may, Anton, do you have any hellos or anything that you'd like to say before we kick off today's topics?
No. What's on the agenda? What's wrong or what's there?
All right. So, with that said, I figured we're going to start with our event calendar for this month, seeing as how that actually is something that I'm interested in.
We're live now, I think, aren't we?
Yes, we are live. We're always live. And for the first time, I'm actually showing from my house bedroom instead of my house living room. Oh, look at that. So I'm looking over my right shoulder to see the TV instead of just looking up, which is going to probably give me repetitive stress or strain injury. So we have the May event calendar, which is a good thing to have.
Good and early this time, so that kudos for that.
Yes. Well, I mean, today's the 2nd. We've already seen what came out in the map today, which is the World Map Survivor token bases, the Omega Juggernaut bases, the Elite Sandstorm Legacy base. Season 7 ended. Be aware, you should have gotten your payouts if you haven't logged into the game after their downtime tonight. The payouts have been awarded, so your Season 7, you should get your Blood Thorium if you deserve it. You should get not only your infamy for your primary single player, but also your payout for the infamy season as your clan. PvP season 8 begins, so they say, and the intel bases are on the map. The 4th of May, you have your Shadow Ops Cult of Brutality Phase 2. Warpath has been scratched. It will start later. I'll get into that when I do the release notes. The world map Darkstorm boss bases come out the 6th. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I jump ahead, Corpus token bases will be out the 4th. Darkstorm boss bases will come out the 6th. The 7th of May, again, they have a scratch on the Warpath prizes because they're bumping things away. You'll have your brief. Go ahead.
Sorry, just on the 4th of May, I wonder will Kixeye do something funky and funny?
It's possible.
It'd be nice if they would do.
It would be. Well, we'll have to see.
Star Wars, if anybody doesn't know that, may the 4th be with you.
Yes. I can.
That's got Captain Kirk on it, right?
Well, I could see them having very funny. I could see them having having the laser style effect of the guns rather than just bullets, like Liberators having laser beams. That would be kind of funny. I don't know how bad that was
just done.
Well, yeah. The 7th of May.
Correct, not Star Wars.
I know. I said that because
Phil,
the Immortal one, will watch this and
we'll get they'll introduce the Mog, half man, half dog, Bartholomew. So the May 7th is going to be your Breacher unit component bases, Hammer faction unit, Detonator faction bases, Disruptor faction bases, Bonesaw faction bases, Sentinel token bases, Envoy bonus tokens, so that's a good day to hit. Your standard Juggernaut bases, for those who don't have the standard Juggernaut, and the elite parts will be out on the 7th for the Juggernaut as well. 9th of May is your gear store update, so expect to get what you need out of the gear store before the 9th. Then they will pull shit out and swap things in. Survivor token bases are on the 9th. Omega Juggernaut bases, for those who collect enough standard and elite parts, on the 7th. You can get your Omega on the 9th. Legacy Omega Titan bases. If you don't have an Omega Titan, it's still better to have the Omega than it is the standard Titan or the Elite Titan, specifically because the amount of tech you can install and the extra drones if you have that tech for that. So,
hey, Venom, you should hide your bookmarks bar.
I don't care. There's nothing up there. There's nothing up there, man.
Doxing yourself.
I'm not doxing myself because it has the Kixeye's 818 release notes, the PvP season information.
No, down below that, in between General and War Commander.
Oh, I don't care about that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't care about that. Yeah.
Just had to clarify.
Yeah, it's my Facebook. I always keep my Facebook. Anybody who's a friend of mine knows who my name is. Doesn't matter. I don't give a shit. You're not going to touch me. I got enough security issues. I'm okay. May 10th, Invasion begins. The world map will have its intel. Pardon, David? What'd you say?
Say your name.
Okay, my name, and then it broke up. Anyway, that's my name right there.
Lionel Richie.
I'm not changing my name to Lionel Richie.
Legally, you're changing your name to Lionel Richie. Fuck off.
It's already been done for you. You can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Then I'd have to go on world tour at the ripe age of, 60? That's not going to happen. Shadow Ops Cult of Brutality Phase 3 begins on the 11th of May. The Corpus token bases will be out on that day as well. May 13th will be your Darkstorm boss bases. the second time this month. 14th, the invasion prizes will be released. So that's what you got to look for. Get your invasion honors in before the 14th. Breacher unit component bases will be out the 14th. Hammer faction bases, Detonator faction bases, Disruptor faction bases, Bonesaw faction bases, Sentinel token bases, Envoy bonus token bases, Standard Juggernaut, and Elite Juggernaut bases. Also all on the 14th of May. 16th, Survivor token bases, Omega Juggernaut bases, and Legacy Omega Hydra bases. So if you don't have an Omega Hydra, you only have an Elite. That's a good time to grab those bases, knock them out, and get those Omega parts. So 17th will begin this month's event, tentatively.
Sorry, I gotta mute. I'm reading a funny picture.
That's fine. 23rd, raid gets updated. So you're going to change your diamond text for your raids. So prepare for that by the 23rd. Get your lower level clansmen, all the raid diamond tech that you can get them now before the 23rd. Standard Herald bases, Elite Herald bases. Yay! Thank you, Kixeye. It's the one fucking thing that I actually give a shit about. Omega Herald bases, all on the 23rd. So if you don't have a Standard, Elite, or Omega Herald, knock those bases out, and at least you can get to the Omega or the Elite. I need those Elite parts so that I can eventually get mine to Omega, because I already collected all the Omega parts, and now with that I'll be able to unlock it and fit all the tech that I want to have. Standard War Rig bases, Elite War Rig bases, Omega War Rig bases, also a pretty good unit, and as Godscope would say, certainly Omega is the way to go with that unit as well. Omega Sandstorm, Elite Phantom, and Omega Phantom bases. Again, the Sandstorm's not so much of a big deal right now, in my humble opinion. Take it as you will. For what you can use it for, it dies in anything current. But for what you can use it for, even an Elite Sandstorm or a regular Sandstorm is just as viable, because you're not using it as an attack unit. You're using it for its drone. That's it. 24th of May is going to be the Intel bases and the Omega Sandstorm Legacy bases. May 25th is going to be the Cult of Brutality Phase 4, Survivor token bases, and the new unit bonus token bases. So the new unit from the event will be out with its bonus token bases on the 25th. 27th is your Profit bonus base, the boss bases. May 28th is the Sphinx unit and component, Fury faction unit bases, Hades faction bases, Phalanx faction bases, Apollo bases, Corpus token bases, Standard Blackout, and Elite Blackout bases. May 30th, the June Gear Store will be updated. You'll have the Omega Blackout base, Legacy Elite Phantom, and Sentinel token bases, and the last of this month will be the Intel bases being changed, or being out on the map, I should say, for the 31st. So that is this month's rundown. So anything in that you guys are looking forward to, obviously, I'm stoked for those Elite Herald parts.
Herald bases.
Yeah, I think in general, but also the Darkstorm bases for people to catch up, I think it's a good move. And definitely for the bread and butter, probably regular Herald for the new players, and Elite Herald for people to hopefully get a Mega.
There you go.
I would say that's even alone those, yes, all the faction, bases are right, the Phalanx and stuff like that, they're very, very good, but your bread and butter stuff that you're going to use for the events, you might even get your Herald built before the event if you're lucky.
Yeah, if you could squeeze it out, get your friends together. I don't know if they're not a one hit, I don't think.
No, they're not.
So you can get your buddies together, work as a team, minimize your downtime, minimize your damage, work together. One person, I don't want to scan right now. One person can missile some things or run a little bit of air in and do some nitpicking, and the next person could run some ground units in and do some nitpicking. But basically just work it out best you can. So downtime and release notes. So we've got patch notes. Yay. I missed that little Matumbu guy over there. So,
Hey,
Commanders.
Hang on. Before you start reading, this has gotten a hell of a lot better. This one right here, this patch notes, I like the way it's laid out, honestly.
Definitely.
I do too. It is not just the standard text with yellow and yellow and black. Stop fucking around with these messages. Yeah, with just orange and yellow, black and stuff. It's nicely organized, and it's unfortunately it's not a big list. It's obviously not a big list. So we'll get through this really quick and then get on to the bread and butter and the real hot topic.
You gotta read. You gotta read that picture I sent you. It's awesome.
I will do.
David PM.
I wanna read it live on the show, but I can't think of a proper way to segue it in.
So, how do you like this art for this patch notes? I mean, I like how they put text over the picture. Have you seen any pictures with text over them, Godson?
I have. I actually there's this one that I just watched now. It's tornado safety do's and don'ts. If there's a tornado coming, do seek shelter. Stay away from the windows. Bring animals indoors and listen for weather updates. Do not stand outside holding a pair of nunchucks yelling, "Bring it on, asshole." Do not use a series of electric wind fans and try and steer the tornado towards your ex's house. Do not try to stab the tornado with a wooden stake. That is vampires. You're thinking of vampires. And do not get attached. The tornado will eventually leave you just like everything else in your miserable life.
We have a winner.
Now, Kixeye, if you can come up with a next faction that uses weather against you and can sweep a tornado through your base and just decimate all the buildings, leaving all the units, but just killing all the buildings, that would be hilarious to say. All right, so it starts with the patch notes. It says, now I'm thinking about fucking tornadoes. The following changes and fixes have been applied. Yeah, the following changes and fixes have been applied to this Wednesday, May 2nd update. New features: PvP Season 8, which we will talk about shortly. Battle against the best of the best in your brand new PvP season. Win tons of blood, thorium, medals, accolades, and more. Season 8 starts on May 2nd after the scheduled downtime. Well, yeah, it's starting. Content changes. And this, again, David's absolutely right. This is, Dark Shadows is right. This is awesome. He's got it blocked off to exactly what subject matter is. Warpath. The next Warpath event was scheduled to begin on the 3rd of May at 10 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, but was delayed. It is now tentatively scheduled to start on Wednesday, the 9th of May at 11 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Again, they scratched it out of the event calendar or the monthly calendar, and there's the bugs and fixes. World map. The Thorium 75 base is back on the world map for those who, unfortunately, it wasn't spawning. Spotlights may now appear again in the 50-plus Thorium bases. So your 50, 65, 75, all these Thorium bases, you are going to see those spotlight trophies. So watch out, because they're going to show off your units, just like radio towers. PvP Season 7 was extended for 30 minutes due to an issue with Infamy. There's a lot of hubbub about that. Payouts will be based on individual and alliance leaderboards as of April 30th at 5:30 p.m. Kixeye's time. Power plants changes in armor are now displayed when upgrading power plants. I wish they had done this first and then done the explosion and shit, but at least now the power plants have gotten their armor buff, so you should be able to see at what level your power plant is, what your buff is going to be, what the armor overall damage is going to, or sustainability versus damage is going to be. So that's a well respected addition. Any of you gentlemen have anything to say on those topics?
No.
No.
Were you pissed out? Was anybody pissed off about the extension to the season?
I'm never pissed off about an extension.
It didn't really quite honest, because they brought the game. They didn't even bring the game down. Infamy reset instantly when they figured out how they could do it. The reason it was trying to be extended a couple of days is they were trying to figure out a way to do the payout, because your regular PvP season payout was one date, and then the seasonal payout for the Alliance was a totally different date. So they were trying to figure out how to make them all coincide with one. What they did was they took a snapshot of everybody at that specific time, and that's how they did the payout. You got your season payout that day, right then and there. Now this Alliance PvP season was being paid out today.
Yes.
So, and for those of you that are bitching and complaining that you have, Godscope, can I use your clan name for an example, please?
Well, he wants to tout the fact that he's on all 3 boards.
But you had several alliances showing the same clan name in all 3 levels. Well, guess what, people? Tags, but you can have the same description on each tag. So, for example, you have test 1 tag, test 2. Description says, I'm the best on all 3. So it's going to show I'm the best on all 3 boards. Yeah, I did ask that they put the tag names at another column on that little spreadsheet that they put out, so that would stop the bitching and complaining. So,
Speaking of,
as you can see, Venom has.
So here is the quick little PvP season rundown. David, I think you can post, or somebody can post this link on the Commanders Unshackled Facebook page for anybody who wants to go through and try to find their own location. Thanks to Slim, he located where the hell I was, because I was all kinds of confused.
Just a tip for people trying to find it: if you click on the actual spreadsheet, press Control F, it'll search the entire spreadsheet and you type in your game name into the little search bar that pops up, and it should find it for you.
Thank you. See, I just have a secretary to do that shit for me.
Teach a man to fish, he'll feed for eat for a lifetime, whatever.
I just got back from getting my supper. What did I miss?
Well, we made fun of your clan. We decided to ban you from Kixeye. No. You want to know what happened while you were gone? You're going to have to rewatch this episode.
Number 1, that's not happening.
So,
number 1 Class C, bitches.
Look at that lights right there.
Scroll to the left, Venom. Scroll to the left, please. All right. So as you can see in Class C, you have Wolfpack number 1. Well, that is probably Wolfpack WPA number 3, probably.
No,
then
that's
you have
WPA. Just WPA.
Okay. So then you have Wolfpack again as number 10 in Class B. What one is that one? What tag?
That's the same one.
Is that?
Same tag.
It can't be.
It is.
You can't. It should be.
Because Class A is all. Class B is the top 100. Class C is only the top 50 of the tag.
So the top 50 of his tag.
It's going by members of the tag.
The top 50 people added up, their infamy was that 300,000 number.
Yes.
While Team Philippine, who may have been number 1 if you add up all the infamy of all the players, their top 50 people only added up to being lower than Wolfpack's.
Exactly.
But that's kind of messed up because, you just got paid out on all 3.
Yep.
Well, theoretically, hold on.
In theory.
I want to say this. Theoretically, the only people that would get all 3 prizes would be those members of that tag that met the criteria of A, being part of the entire alliance. So obviously every player in the alliance would get that. The top 50 players that added up to the quotient would get the top 50 prize. And those top, what was the other thing? I'm out of this.
Top 100.
Top 100.
Class A is everybody. So everybody in
Wolfpack got that prize.
Yeah. In Class B, only the top 100 got that prize for being 10th, and Class C, only the top 50 got the prize for being number 1. That's how it should work. I haven't been in the game or talked to anybody in my tag to see if that's how it actually paid out.
So technically, if you had 0 medals to start off with at this payout time, right, when they took their snapshot, So you had 0 medals. What's the payout for the top ranked one in Class C?
Oh, 75,000, I think.
Okay. Well, anyway,
I'll look. I'll bring it up right now.
Theoretically, you could get filled up.
Well, close to fill. Well, you couldn't get 1 million, but you could certainly get filled quite a lot.
Let's see.
It's for Class C. The top people get 100,000.
Hang on. Let's see here. Hang on. I'm looking at it. Top is first place rank. Everybody gets 100,000 in class. Top rank, everybody gets in Class B gets 200,000. Top rank is 300,000. So that's, let's see here, that's 600,000. 600,000 medals. Everybody's getting that doesn't pan out. That's like.
So, okay, I'm looking at the table now. In Class A, my alliance got 8th, so that's 75,000. In Class B, we got 10th. That's 10,000, so that's a total of 85,000. And then in Class C, we got 1st. That's 100,000. So, everybody.
Well, not everybody.
If it's paying out the way that I think it is, and that's just everybody in the tag is getting it, everybody in my tag will get 185,000 medals.
Well, no. The way I'm looking at it is everybody in your tag will get 100,000. Of your tag members, it's everyone 100 and then 50. Top 100 and top 50. All right,
yeah.
So everybody in the tag will get 100,000. 100 of your tag members will receive the extra 75 or whatever, and then 50 of yours will receive the 75 and that. So only 50 players in your tag will actually receive the 185 or whatever.
I have the answer right now. In the form, it says, please note that an alliance can only receive 1 accolade per season. If an alliance places first in Class A, B, or C, they will only receive the accolade from Class A. So since we're first in Class C, that's the only one that we'll get.
Oh, okay. So, it pays out. It pays out what your highest position is. Oh, okay.
And it pays it out to the tag. Cool. So everybody in WPA gets 100,000 medals.
Well, then that's even better.
But let's be honest, that's not really that many medals.
That's not.
These days.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Even if you were actually ranked 1, 1, and 1, then at 600,000, that realistically isn't a whole I mean, it's a shitload of medals to get dropped on you at once, especially if you already have medals banked. But if you're at 100,000,
that's realistically barely 2 heroic tech.
Oh, there you go.
And that's only if you buy 2 of the lowest tier 1.
And I will say to you, that makes a lot more sense as to why Kixeye is doing it. So it's only the top tier, or the top, whatever your top position for your clan gets that specific prize. Because even though it's not the most medals paid out, reducing how much medals your clan gets is always Kixeye's modus operandi. So here's the individual payouts. Ryusetsu got number 1. Hell's Knight got 2nd place, and Gokhan got the 3rd place, which congratulations for them.
Yeah, well done everybody there. That's a big effort there, fair play to them. They're proper players, you know what I mean? They love this game, so good luck to you guys and girls.
Yeah, Wade, well done. And best luck. I hope all you enjoy your little gold shiny baubles.
People are saying in the YouTube chat, well, if that's the case, why did I get X amount of medals then? That's because it just added it together with the individual payout that you got.
Yes. So you got your clan payout and your individual, and they back to back. So you got a big so there's that. Drop off of this. We do that. And finally, speaking of, I love this picture. David needs to do something with this.
I ain't doing jack shit with that one.
All right. So this is the start of PvP Season 8. Battle for bragging rights of the Sector and War Commander PvP Season 8. Details. Starting today at 10 a.m. It's already begun. Pacific time. It'll end the 5th of July at 10 a.m. Pacific time. There will be weekly payouts medals based on your current infamy division. Additional medals, blood thorium, and accolades will be awarded to the winners at the end of the season. Alliance PvP. Complete the 3 different class bases in Alliance size. Class A, total infamy contributions of all members. Class B, total infamy contributions of the top 100 members. And Class C, total infamy contributions of the top 50 members. Your Alliance infamy score will appear in all 3 classes. And Alliance can only receive a single accolade per season. So again, thank you, YouTube, for clarifying. I misinterpreted. So I appreciate it. Alliance PvP, first place. This is all pretty much standard for the last one we just got through. So if you weren't aware, there's the rundown. Global ranking first, 300,000 in medals with your gold accolade. Class B, first place, 200,000 medals and your silver accolade. And Class C, 100,000 medals for top 1 and your bronze accolade, and then it subsequently drops down. Rank 1 through 3 Alliance accolades for Class A, B, C appear in the leaderboards above your base on the world map. This will go throughout the entire season. If an Alliance places first in Class A, B, and C, they will only receive the accolade from Class A, meaning that the highest possible payout for any class tier is the only accolade or only reward you will see. Lesser payouts will be dropped. Makes sense. Weekly round and season prizes for individual players can be found below. Gold Division 1, 3,600 plus infamy gets you 200,000. Again, remember these 2 separate global season and global round. You have to position yourself for both. You might end up again in Gold 1, but end up down in a lower set global. So,
which is annoying as shit, by the way.
Yeah, but it does, in the long and short of things, it does kind of make sense. Obviously, you're looking at one pool versus a larger prize pool, so you're going to definitely have 2 positions. All right. So again, this is standard from the last one we just got through. It hasn't changed. I don't see them adding anymore. It's still 9, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 0 for the payout, so it's the same ranking. Right?
It did change because the last season, if you were gold 1, you got the base accolade for number 2 to 100 place.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, that was the first. That was the first season, but not.
Yeah.
Oh, was it this one? That was this one.
Season 7 was the based on what position you were. Season 6 was the one where if you were gold, you got
gold.
Yeah, you got gold.
Yeah. So that's that. So is there any topics from this short pinned discussion? And I know we started at 7:30 and it's 8 o'clock and a half an hour. We've run through all of the basic notes. There really wasn't all that much to discuss.
No, but how about the blood thorium there? Is it still the same payouts there for the same rates for gold 1 and all that?
Yes, 9 for the top player, and then subsequently down 8, 7, 5, 2, and 0. Yes.
2, whatever.
So was everybody happy with that? Was that a fair enough return for what you got?
It is fair. It is a little challenging with certain constraints in the game to get as high infamy as some people were pushing, but you know, if you got reasonably gold 1, you're probably in the top 2,000. So I don't think that was an unreasonable payout.
Yeah,
I think that's a fair statement there. You don't mean if you sort of, but if you work it out really, I'm not saying take a bubble or anything like that. You know what I mean? But you know the way the game is going, all you need to do is hit 1 base per day, basically, at 100 infamy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I usually have found right before you go to bed, hit 2, 3 bases, go to bed. If you get hit by 1 person, you know you've hit 2 or 3 people, gotten 600, only lost 200, so it works out for me. That's the way I do it.
Well, Killzone, if as David was saying, they took a snapshot of players. If you happen to have been at the higher infamy number when they took the snapshot, and then it dropped down right after that, right before they reset, maybe that's what allotted you that that bonus payout. Yeah, lady! Congratulations, 5 Blood Thor, same as me. So congratulations. And Hunter Hamish got his. He got 300K. So that's good to know. Gold tech for Poly. What do you guys think? The gold tech for Poly, was that worth 500K medals?
I just wish I could get Poly.
Unfortunately, I did buy the first 2. I didn't buy the treads, and you know where Polly is sitting? In my armory. In my armory.
No, she's not even in the storage. Holy.
Polly is even similar to what do you call the Liberator hero?
Weaver.
I think for specialist bases or certain types of bases, there's like flavors of bases that come out, and it'll be very, very, very good for it. But just at the moment,
yeah, I would get all the tech, to be quite honest, but I am somewhat of a collector. But there's certain units that I don't use. Poly currently right now is one of them. Orin is going to be another I don't use. Weaver is another I don't use. So, I mean, I'm not going to...
It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Right.
Yeah, like I got Orin just because of the Corpus event, and I used it once or twice, but I really didn't need it. But it was nice that I had it just in case I needed that.
Look, I mean, if it's a unit that you're going to use constantly, they did bring back. We'll give Kix props on this one. Bring back Jericho. However, there was one drawback. You guys didn't bring back all of his tech, unless you plan on bringing it back in the event store. So, or bringing it back in the next gear update, maybe. Hopefully that will happen. So, I mean, Kixeye did listen, because they're asking in one of the things some of us did, what units we would like to see back. And I said Jericho, and they're like, why? I go, because that's still a very viable unit. And lo and behold, look what came back, Jericho.
Yeah. Did many people get that out there in YouTube land, or did anybody on the panel get?
That package actually was honestly a damn good deal in my eyes. If I didn't have Jericho, I would have gotten it. Granted, it didn't have the
Rapid fire.
Literally one thing I need, the HH2.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'll ask you this, Slim. For that price, if it had the HH2, would you have bought it?
Well, I don't have coin on my account, so no, but I would have.
Okay. Yeah, like
I would like it to be like 100 or 150,000 medals in the gear store in the next update.
That probably won't happen, but...
Well, the HH2, when it was in the gear like 6 or 7 months ago, it was only like 75K.
That would be even better.
Yeah, but it's not going to come back at that.
Probably not.
It'll probably come back, honestly, I think it'll probably come back at 300,000 medals, to be quite honest.
It's still worth it.
Even then, yeah, it's fine, because you only need to buy one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
then you can buy as many of those as you want and put them on your, what was it, the jacket?
Hellhounds.
Hellhounds. You can make a makeshift Jericho. Somebody did that for the longest time until they came out with the package for expert. Yeah. So the only thing it didn't have was the arc loader.
Yeah, it didn't have the HH2, didn't have the arc loader, or the Fury tech. Tactic is what I meant to say.
So, but I mean, it's still a damn good unit, honestly. I break them out every once in a while and still use them.
He lives in a certain part of my operation.
Great for base defense.
Jericho is a bit best unit in the game, bar none. Overall, I mean, not single.
Let's see. How are you gentlemen doing with your power usage versus I'm serious. No, I'm just serious.
That's a sore subject.
It's going to get talked about. I don't care.
Well, apparently to customer support, I am the only person in the whole game that has got a problem with their power.
All your power plants are maxed out, correct, Anton?
No, they're not.
Okay.
I'm running at 86% power.
All right.
Wow.
I am running at 95.
I have 70 out of 70.
I upgraded one of my power plants and I'm running at 100% by 1,000 power.
And
so the first, see, this is the issue. Again, I'm grateful that the power that the buff has been installed, and you can see what level of armament your unit has, or your power plant has. But like, let's see, maxed out, it doesn't tell you. Of course not. Why would it? So I have one maxed power plant, and then the rest, all the other 4 of my power plants are level 12. Level 13, your power plants will have 18,000 power production per plant. And the power plant armor is listed at, well, let's see, it's at 12, oh, excuse me. Let me double check here. So
18,000?
Yeah.
So
that's per power plant at level 13.
Oh, level, yes. At level, max level, is it 20,000, is it?
Yeah.
Yes. So at level 12, your power plant's armor is 2,280,000. At level 13, it gets an additional 470,000 armor. So say 28,000 or 2,800,000. Or excuse me, 2,700,000. Where's my brain at? I don't know. I really don't.
Seriously, if we put Juggernaut shells on top of the power plant, I still wouldn't upgrade them there, not there, because
Well, this is the reason I brought.
It's a height of absolute nonsense.
Yeah, this is the reason I brought that up. I was expecting these buffs to be absolutely astronomical and to have the power plants run up something in the neighborhood of, for like a level 10, be in the neighborhood of 4 million, and at max be in the neighborhood of like 8 million or 12 million, something. I mean, you've got units now. Darkstorm, the Dark Horse, the bull in the China shop at the moment. Its armor, its health is astronomical. But Juggernauts, shells just decimate a power plant, and at 3 million health or 5 million health, it's not going to stop that power plant from being one shot, one kill, whether it's an overdrive or not.
Yeah, but even then, if it doesn't go in one shot, the Juggernaut's going to land maybe 2 shells on it and do twice the amount of damage surrounding the area, which is more suicide.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, devil's advocate that I play, I wouldn't mind if it took 2 shots from a Juggernaut to take the power plant down, even though 2 shots from a Juggernaut shell on a power plant close to base, every building around that power plant is already destroyed with the first flurry. So the second flurry of or the second shell, it's only to kill out the power plant because that's probably the last thing standing.
Well, if you wall around your CC, you might make 2 shots to get the CC down, and that's game over, sure.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I think obviously this is their first thing, and they said they wanted to look at it, and maybe they'll get some good feedback, and maybe they'll get some good data and assess a change in the future. But again, speaking softly, because whatever they do to our power plants translates to what they do to their power plants, and we don't want an indestructible PvE based event time. So.
No kidding.
What I would like to see is an option in your base for you to be fit to downgrade stuff.
I too.
Because I cannot stick an absorption. I had to take all my absorptions off my railguns to give me more power, or I'll be probably at 72% now.
Oh, and that's why I brought this up, is they've actually forced players to upgrade their power plants. They've forced you to max every power plant, because from what I see, I ran my missile bastion. when I had my Missile Bastion going, now I'm under power. If I don't have a Missile Bastion in my base, I'm like Godscope. I'm at power with like 1,000 to spare.
Must be nice. I probably have like 100 to spare. I'm like 70 out of 70 jar completely full. Shake it and it'll spill everywhere.
The missile bastion's power is 5,000.
Yeah.
Every time you deploy that thing, it is 5,000 off your power.
So we need see, and then the problem is, if say we get an increase or CC or more levels on our go-go bar or
more levels on bastions.
Yeah, or something, an aura thing there, an aura killer there for the Darkstorm. Everybody's going to have to go. Like, seriously, who thought of this?
I want to say one thing really quick, because I've heard that hearsay, people saying they would like to see something that would defeat the Darkstorm's aura, or like counter it. If Kixeye was to do that, I would have. I know this is probably going to get a whole bunch of fucking, black, but have it as a command center mount, not as a, hovering turret or your bastion. I'd rather see it as a command center mount, not a bastion or a. And I know you're going to hate. Well, then you don't have the storm, or you don't have the the friggin' hunter on the thing, or you don't have.
What does it fucking do, anyways?
Exactly. The storm doesn't. The storm is not effective against anything in game air-wise outside of
Phantom.
No, the Phantom. No, the storm doesn't hurt the Phantom.
Well, my level 1 Phantom gets shot down by it, so it must be good.
Oh please, no. But I mean, outside of things like hailstorms and cobras and that kind of shit, the storm turret is not effective. The flood is not greatly effective outside of infantry.
And it kills the RMs.
Hey, the last time I went up against the storm, my Warhawks took a beating, man.
Welcome, Destry. How are you?
Was that northwest or southwest wind it was?
I think our best bet at getting something to combat the Darkstorm aura isn't going to be a building or a turret upgrade. It's going to be a unit.
Yeah.
It's going to be an infantry unit that we can put in our bunkers or in our base.
Or next.
But I mean, that would logically speaking, you're looking at an infantry unit where its range at out of a bunker or tower, because tower gives you that bonus range. Its range. What's the Darkstorm's aura is?
I don't even know, because it looks like it's been reduced.
It looks like 800.
Okay, so you're looking at something that would have to have an 810 or 815 range stock, and then you put it in your tower to get the bonus where you can actually lay out some rounds at a greater distance, so that you can get more than 1 or 2 shots off before you're inside the aura.
And something that does a retarded amount of damage.
Well, it would have to be another rail. It would be basically that's honestly what I thought maybe this Prophet was supposed to be. Maybe that is supposed to be the counter.
But you can't put shadow up units in your base as defenders.
I know. Like, well, you can one. There's only one Sarkis.
Hey,
true.
That's a good unit, guys. I promise.
No. But again, is that going to be the Achilles heel? Is Sarkis with his cloaking going to sneak up behind the Darkstorm and shoot it?
Sarkis has
tech?
Y'all don't know this yet, but Sarkis has a secret 2,000 damage buff against the Darkstorm.
A whole 2,000?
A whole 2,000 damage buff. You don't know about it yet. It's a secret.
Yeah, they'd have to make a suicide vest for Sarkis that gives like 20 billion damage.
But I will say, I did some testing, and it's not beneficial as defenders, but it does work. If you put 10, and mine are only level 10 level 10 detonators with the camo tech and the mites, you'll kill the Darkstorm.
Yeah. And
But-
you know, Scooby has an excellent base that kills it. 1-2 done. Because he's got the tech and the units, and he's got a base design that allows it that the minute it's basically
Yeah.
spawned, it's dead. I mean, it's taking the 5 or 6 shots that are required. But average players like myself, forget it. You walk my base.
Yeah, like I think we're gonna get a unit. It won't be like a building thing. It'll be a unit that's immune to it. That's either immune to the Darkstorm aura or has ridiculous range and damage.
I really hope it's not really ridiculous range and damage, because we're starting to get ranges that are getting pretty long, and screen size is going to start being an issue, and base size is going to start being an issue.
I'm glad you said that, Slim. I'm glad you said that, because then that brings me to my next point, and I'm going to say it every single show until Kixeye does it.
Fuck that. No, fuck it, because I got pissed off and I did all my expansions.
They need to put the expansions and the res compression in the exchange for Bloodthor tokens instead of doing it for metals, because if you do it for metals, then it diminishes the importance of it. If you do it for Bloodthor tokens, 3 tokens is like 10% res compression or 10% base expansion. That's fair, and then it gives people who do not pay money in this game an option and a way to expand their borders and compress their resources.
I agree. I agree. But at the same time, you can all thank me, because I was a stubborn, childish, petty little prick and said, screw it, and coined all of my base expansions because I was sick and tired of not being able to tinker around with designs. Mind you, all the designs that I tinkered around with after I expanded my base failed miserably anyway. But because basically the rule of my life is if I put effort into something, they turn around and make it easier for everyone else. So since I spent the, I guess it was 650 gold, they're probably going to release an expansion discount for gold.
Ooh, Hunter has a beautiful idea in the YouTube chat. He says he'd like us to be able to control what our turrets shoot at.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
that would be interesting.
Oh, okay. So have a so when you highlight your turret, have a air. Well, if it's air available, but have an air, a tank, and a troop, and be able to design it whether or not the turret primarily targets your troops first or your tanks or whatever. So you could set, if you have 2 avalanches next to each other, you can have one set for air and one set for troops.
Or you could click on the turret, and then whatever's in range, just click on that unit, and it shoots at that unit till it dies.
But that's only beneficial if you're online.
Well, yeah.
I'm looking at the grander scheme of things. I can defend a base and have my turret specifically targeting specific potential.
If you're offline, take a bubble.
No.
Don't let someone hit you offline. You learn nothing from an offline hit as an attacker and a defender. If you're gonna get,
I still like them to give us that review button. You know.
Yeah, watching the attack would be cool. But yeah, no, if you're getting flat, or even if you're offline, you're not technically defending your base anyways. But if you're online, you're defending your base. That would be a cool feature to have.
My problem is, even with a condensed design of a base setup, all the turrets close. I mean, I'd be clicking here, aiming at that, and then space bar, and then click and aim, and space and click and aim. I'd be doing this. Freaking madman. So, I don't know.
And I'm probably going to catch a bunch of shit for saying take a bubble if you're offline, but it's simple. If you want to flatten me, you'll do it when I'm online.
I think Hunter, that is a good one there. I think you should actually make a post on the page to see what people's feedback is and give options there.
And I agree again in the YouTube chat with Hunter Hamish saying that the Storm and the Flood should be a double shot. Yeah, the rate of fire, and the damage output should be buffed. We got a buff on turrets. I don't know if they really gave us a true to life buff on our CC turrets, because if anything, the CC turret should be 5 to 10 times stronger than its equivalent mount turret for either a hovering platform or armored.
Listen,
platform.
I just want my Hellfire turret to one shot a Darkstorm. That's all I want, Kixeye.
Well, I thought maybe they would give us a Hunter style missile, a Patriot missile launcher for our CC. We have a chain gun. We have basically the Overwatch when it comes to turrets in the Blitz, sort of. We have a railgun version, being the Flood, heavy damage shell. We should have had that missile, long range. As soon as you enter the base, it's got that long range and that target lock that as long as it's standing, it'll continue to fire. And that would be a great deterrent against things like Siege, not Darkstorm, but Siege, like Air Siege and Phantoms and all that kind of stuff.
Listen, as much as I really like that idea, I don't want to go to do the event and go into a base, and as soon as I land, Kixeye's got like 6 of them on the back of the base. And
it's electric.
Just one-shots you.
No, it's electric.
No, it'll just one-shot you before you, because it's such long range, and it just locks on you and just do.
Well, look, have we not figured? All honesty, have we not? I mean, I'm spitballing I'm spitballing a stupid idea. I know this. But what I'm saying is we've already figured out ways to get around Hunter missiles themselves. So a max level Hunter turret doesn't make us wet our fucking BBDs. So, it's, I don't know. There's so much, there's just so much. It really, I came into this thinking that the Darkstorm was not going to be a game bending, strategy cracking unit, but it is proving. Yeah, I know. A lot of people said, "Oh, it's destroyed the game." It hasn't destroyed the game. It hasn't killed.
There's still ways to kill it.
It hasn't destroyed the game there, but it hasn't made it any more healthier.
Yeah, it has definitely cracked the front windscreen.
It made it. It's what it's done is it's made flattening bases beyond easy, and it's made defending your base incredibly difficult.
Yeah, and it's just massive repairs, and I just think, it's some point they're just going to defend it. It's the only way to combat it.
We've had this before when the Jug came out, and then we got the counter to the Jug, and then the Herald came out, and then we got the technicals.
I mean, to be fair, though, the Jug only had 250 range when it dropped.
Yeah, but people were okay, I'll use the Herald as a better example. People were taking the Herald and going through base after base after base after base after base, killing every single defender you had. Even Hades.
Yeah, Herald was awesome.
If you put a ton of Hades in your base, then they just rolled up with a ground tune. There was no way. You were either getting flattened by ground or you were getting flattened by the Herald. And then the technicals came out. And now the Herald, you're not Herald-onlying a base unless it's undefended. I think at some point we will get that with the Darkstorm. We will see a unit come out.
But this one is the daddy of them all. Like, you can walk into any base with Ruby, go for a cup of coffee and not worry about it.
Yeah, and that's how it is now. But at some point, we will get the counter to it. It's going to take a long time to get it, and that's going to irritate us. And until then, the Darkstorm's going to run rampant and do whatever the hell it wants, and nothing's going to be able to stop it.
But for those who did put in the effort and do their shadow ops and get the unit, it is a fun toy to play with.
Just think, guys, they've come out with a counter for pretty much every unit that's come out there, but it takes about 2 to 3 months.
Yep.
For the counter. So
we will get something.
That's what I just like about that.
Yeah.
So real quick before we get to, because I saw this in the YouTube. So Sparky out there, he says, "Okay, I got a question. You're all pretty high levels, and you know a lot about the units, and you guys, ladies, seen where techs can hit ground and air. So this is the way the technicals run really quick. There's 3 basic ways that you can run technical. Standard's a machine gun. It fires at ground and air units. There is a rocket launching attachment in the tech center, which allows the technical Workshop, sorry, which allows your technicals to fire only at air. And then there's a flamethrower in the workshop that allows your technicals to only hit ground, and it gives you this long flame swath across the thing, which is awesome against zombies and pretty much everything. So those are the 3 different ways you can outfit that unit.
You want me to screen share? Screen share.
If you want. Yeah, sure.
And then using them strategic-wise, I don't ever use just the standard gun. I have either flame or anti-air because of how purely strong the rocket is. And yeah, I use the flame technicals to kill ground tunes when I'm defending my base, primarily phalanx. And I use the rocket ones to kill the herald. And then you pair Jericho with his tactic with it, and they killed the siege.
So Burning Man and the turret tech. Burning Man is the flamethrower, and it says on here that it cannot hit air and it cannot hit missiles.
Yes, it can only fire at ground units.
The Rocket Man is the rocket tech. It only targets air, which is the only technical that can hit the Herald. And then the regular one, of course, shoots at both ground and air and missiles. But it will not target the Herald because it is not dedicated anti-air.
Yep. So the Achilles, every unit has to have his Achilles heel, and just like Godscope said, we're gonna have to find eventually an Achilles heel to this Darkstorm. But the thing about the technicals is, go ahead.
I would say it doesn't target air though, right?
No,
it doesn't.
Flamethrower.
No, the Darkstorm. The Darkstorm does not target air. It does not target floating platforms. But if you make all the platforms in your base floating, phalanx will shoot over top your walls and kill the turrets.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean,
the other thing about the Darkstorm, it does not move and shoot. It will only move. When it stops, it will then shoot.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's already weaknesses.
There's an aesthetic change when you put on the rocket. This is the Rocket Man one. This is the one that'll only shoot air. Then this is what the ground one the mix, the machine gun.
Standard.
It's like this, standard. Yeah. And then this is the flamethrower tech one. It's got like a flamethrower looking thing on it.
Yeah, the rocket one is easy to spot because it's got that little bulbous thing pointing up in the air.
Yeah.
It's good against floating turrets. It's good against aircraft, obviously. So, I mean, if you're going into a base, because the technicals do have a decent range and they do put out a good DPS, you can actually use those rocket technicals in bases to get rid of floating turrets.
Okay, Hunter Hamish has made a statement. Now, is this a State of the Union statement you're making there? I think the new Shadow Ops prize is a nemesis to the Dark Storm.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping, that the Prophet was the Dark Storm's, one or two shot kill unit.
Could you put this in your base, though?
That was the thing that was said.
Now, as of normal Shadow Ops units, we cannot put them as a base defender. This one, though, we don't know. We won't know until it comes out if we're allowed to put it as base defense or not.
It should be noted that it's not because it's a Shadow Ops unit that it can't be put in your base. It's because it's a unique unit.
Yeah, it's a true unique unit.
Yeah.
Yes. Unless they make some sort of variation on that unit, and maybe it's
unless it's another
family members, maybe it's the uncle of Circus.
But then if they release this Prophet and its main goal is to be in your base as a defender, every fucking base is gonna have it.
Every base had the Ronin when it was out.
The Ronin sucked.
No,
it didn't suck.
Not when it first came out.
I was saying in its time it was a great unit.
So I mean, again, Sarkis is a true unique, right?
He's a real special motherfucker.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. The only counter that my brain can wrap itself around is like a 2-shot kill to that thing. Because anything more than that aura depletes so much. It's so massive. Your units are just toast.
Your best bet is Phalanx with the Corpus buff.
Well, no, actually, my best counter has been the Flame Technicals and Phalanx, just running the skirting the very ring of that of the Darkstorm.
Honestly,
and it doesn't. I end up dying, but I mean, it's the closest I've come to killing the damn thing.
Honestly, my best counter is just don't let it get in your base. Snipe it before it gets in. All the crybaby bitches will just retreat.
I've definitely caught a couple of Darkstorm.
They'll just retreat it. It's the easiest way to keep people out of your base. Let their buggy in, keep their Darkstorm out.
And mind you, I'm a jaded son of a gun because my Darkstorm is not maxed out. It's nowhere even close. I think it's level like 3.
I think mine's level 4.
You can all laugh at me later, like, well, you're at least like 10 or something by now. Destry, do you have anything interesting? Anything pop your mind?
At the moment, not. No, I do not.
Oh, that sucks.
Sorry. I joined in late, so I'm playing catch up.
What are you all upgrading there at the moment? What's the flavor for? What's everybody upgrading on their base? What's their priority?
I never thought I'd say this, but Seekers. I need something anti-air for the event, and they were level 1.
Tech Center.
Tech Center. Same here, Tech Center.
Right now, I'm doing my hangar.
Tech Center Gogo Bar.
After that will be the War Factory again, and then Tech Center.
Thank you, Anton. I just realized my worker wasn't running.
Oh, good job.
After I'm doing my Tech Center, and then I'll do the Gogo Bar, and then after that, I'll be doing the aircraft hangar.
Yeah, I'm not going to bother doing because it's for what I'm thinking. Got it up a few levels, so I think I'm down to 9 hours repair. At max, it'll be 6 hours repair, so it's no difference to me 9 hours or 6 hours. That's you out for the night anyway.
Yeah.
Whether it be 5 hours or 4 hours, you're still out for the night.
And me, I'm upgrading metal and oil storages.
I done them at the start of these upgrades whenever I knew it was 600 million.
Yeah.
I just got mine to above 600 million, and that's what I done. It's a long haul.
Yes. How long have you guys played the game?
Too long.
Obviously.
13th of September 2011.
I wish I had that good of a memory, Destry.
5.5 years for me.
Do you know why I know that? Because it was my birthday.
I want to say it was about 4, maybe a little bit less than that.
I'm in between 7 and 8.
I will tell you this. If any of you can locate on my Facebook when I joined Facebook. So, you know, I used to say you joined Facebook on October, whatever, blah, 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 blah. If you can find that, PM me that information. Because that night,
30 seconds.
You find exactly when I joined Facebook. That's the very night that I did War Commander. As I was creating my Facebook page, this is when I started playing War Commander while I was putting in my age and date and all that crap.
Venom, I didn't know you wanted stalkers on your Facebook.
No, I don't know. I used to be able to access where it was, and I just forgot where the fuck to find it. So I haven't known in forever. But it's at least, I think it's 7 years, 6 years, something like that. The only reason I started this game, and the only reason I started Facebook, was so that I could be in contact with my girlfriend at the time, who was in the Naval Academy. So she wasn't allowed, computers and whatnot. Yeah, how sweet. Yeah, that bitch dumped my ass a long time ago. So, but She wasn't allowed a whole bunch
I didn't
of
want
stuff.
to be rude. I was gonna say, are you guys still together? But
hell no. I'm married now, so upwards and onwards. But
he's in a worse spot now than he was when he was dating.
Actually, no. This is another funny thing. Not to be rude, I love all women. I'm not a physical freak because, quite frankly, I'm an ugly motherfucker myself. But women that I tend to have relationships with, and then they either go their way or I go mine, tend to get really, really big afterwards. I get them while they're normal, and then they kind of jiffy puff after we break up. I don't know why. I'm a freak that way, but it's true. But yeah, so she got. I don't know what she's doing. I think she's probably married by now. I wish her luck.
I hear someone scrolling.
So this wouldn't be a good time to ask this question.
What's up?
Do you guys know how to get a fat girl in bed?
Yeah.
Very carefully or with a crane.
No, piece of cake.
That'll get me in bed too. Piece of cake or
so is that how Godscope handles that one?
KY and peanut butter. That's Godscope.
Wait a minute.
No, it's Tiger Bomb.
Tiger Bomb?
Yeah.
KY and peanut butter. I thought that's how you got a dog in bed.
Oh, goat.
All right, anyway, sorry.
Goat.
How do you get a goat in bed?
Just ask. That works.
Well, this has been a very uneventful show. But we're getting to watch some bases get done. Actually, I gotta see something because I don't know why.
I just called to say
oh, God.
I hate you.
That was a quick bitch.
Okay, he muted himself. What the hell?
Somebody mute him. It'll work. I promise.
Yeah, okay.
So, did you start Facebook when she broke up with you?
No. I started Facebook when she went into the Naval Academy because the only way to contact her while she was in the academy was through her cell phone and Facebook because all other means of communication other than letters were banned. So she'd get so many, every week she'd have so many hours to access her cell phone. And obviously they monitored her Facebook users, but I could, PM her in Facebook. So while I was setting up my Facebook for the first time, I started playing this game because it was in the sidebar there. Try War Commander, blah, blah, blah. So I clicked on it. I built my base. I started it. And I enjoyed it because, again, at the time, it was relatable to real warfare. Real troops, real tanks, A1 Abrams style tank, the old, German style tanks from World War II. And,
Challengers and Paladins.
Challengers and Paladins, yep. So, I mean, it was relatable to a real world, real world style warfare game. So I enjoyed it. So did you find out when I started? Not yet.
I blame karma for you posting all these random ass things on your Facebook. It takes too long to scroll.
Oh,
if you're scrolling, you're not doing it right. I found it just has a month, January 2001.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's about right. I didn't know if it was November or December, but it could have been January.
The game wasn't on in 2001.
That's not that. If that says when I joined Facebook,
I don't think Facebook was on.
That's your job stuff here.
That's not it.
Damn, he's probably as old as David's going to be tomorrow.
Impossible.
Here we go. Your first. I don't want to say that out loud, but I think I found it.
Go ahead. I don't give a shit. Or type it in the side chat over here.
The first active post you have that was more than one post a year in 2012. End of a relationship.
Oh yeah, but that was after it. Yeah, that was after it. That was me all pissed off and drunk. Yeah, so I think it was I believe it was 2010 or 2011, and I feel it was October of 2010. War Commander was coming out of beta at that point. Because when I first started War Commander, I believe it was the same week that they removed. Was the medic the second one to get removed?
It was medic and tech, both of them.
Yeah, which was the first? They weren't exactly the same. I think the medic went second.
Okay.
I think, or vice versa. One of them wasn't in game, and the other one I had like 2 days of it, and then they removed it.
I just maxed mine, and they fucking took them.
I was
the medic and mechanic is what they removed.
Yes.
And they brought him back for, I think, what event was it? The zombie event?
Well, they brought the medic back when you had to take her to the aircraft that had fallen.
Uh-huh.
Or was that the mechanic? But yeah, and they brought the mechanic back, I think, for the zombie event. But yeah, both of those they came back for controllables. They had the doctor during that one zombie event where you had to go collect the doctor and put him into a RAV and drag him out of screen. If the RAV died, he started walking back to the center of the screen. You had to go pick him up again. I loved that event. That was fun. I like capture the flag kind of events.
Kixeye's had like really good events. They've had their share of shit ones too, but I mean they have come up with some decent stuff.
Yeah, they've had great opportunities. Sometimes I wish they weren't one and dones. You know,
Venom stays a pimp.
Oh yeah.
Well, you all got to remember when they changed the playability or the event itself, when they changed it to a different role play, I should say.
Yeah.
Like when they did the ABC tiers and they changed it to something else. Mm-hmm. The first couple events, they sucked. It really. Oh. And then when they get up to the third, fourth event of it, and it's like, oh man, this is great. Everybody loves it. We all loved the ABC tier thing when that was out. Right before they took it away, the last event was probably one of their best ones.
I really didn't like it. I didn't like doing the same 4 waves 100 times.
Well, for the lower levels, it was great. You were able to get.
I was the lower level.
Someone's got music playing, and they need to shut it off, please.
Oh, it's just the opening to a movie. It's no big deal.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the Fox bump or whatever the fucking was.
Sorry to cut off whoever was talking. Continue, please.
No, it's okay. The whole thing is, though, do understand that you trying to follow all of my history on Facebook is literally a very, very dark rabbit hole.
Oh, it is. 2015, I give up on life.
Uh-huh. I was one to very much troll people and get reactions and say things just to get reactions to see. I was a psychological warfare kind of person. Yep, nobody loves me. I give up on life. Nothing I do matters. Everything. I forget what the fuck I wrote.
So your email?
Was it an email?
Yeah, emo.
Oh no, I wasn't an emo. No, I'm not some fucking douchebag. I'm not a goth. I'm not an emo. No.
Were you an emotional person?
Actually, I'm very cold. I've always said this. I'm one of those people. I was great with triage. So a person, working with me could sever a limb, and I wouldn't bat an eyelash. I wouldn't fucking flinch. No problems. No, you're bleeding out. I'll grab a t-shirt. I'll wrap a tourniquet around you, tighten it up. Mind you, the entire time I'm doing it, I will be laughing at you and calling you a fucking moron for cutting your hand or leg or whatever off. But I will make sure you live. I am not one of those people that gets all freaked out and goes, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Nah, it doesn't faze me.
Hang on. Hey, Zach.
I'm a very cold person.
Yeah, there you go. Aim for that. Aim for the go-go bar with that.
Yeah, remember, priorities. Go-go bar. Power plants. What else?
Venom's base.
Defense lab.
Defense lab.
Yes. Defense lab, power plants. All those things give those passive buffs.
Well, it's only the units in the base there now. Well, defense lab there. You don't some of the things that don't just.
Yeah. If you're attacking, or when I'm attacking, I try to take out the power plants. I try to take out. Nowadays, with the way this is all screwed up, you take out one power plant and the guy's fucked. But the defense lab, the defense lab and the go-go bar are my priority targets. Then things like obviously the missile, the rocket silos, and that kind of stuff.
Your first active post, other than the end of the relationship thing, was when you March 31st, 2012, when you changed your profile picture to the "I don't always" guy, when it says "I once won a poker game with 4 of spades, Joker, 2 green, number 2 green Uno cards, and a get out of jail free card."
Yeah, I love that picture.
But yeah, if you want to know how to go and scroll through the years of your profile,
I know how to do that. But what I'm saying is, it used to say joined at a certain day, and they used to every once in a while. Now they do a lot of the videos, like the birthday videos and the friendship shit. They used to do the one where it was a memories, and it said when you joined. All that stuff is just. I've been on long enough that it's dematerialized. It's no longer there. I kind of wish hindsight 2020. Now, obviously, I had all this information on a previous hard drive on a previous computer, but that computer since has crapped out. So all those kinds of pieces of information, documentation, are long gone. But unfortunately, I wish I had that. So, oh well. But for some reason, I think it's October or November. Sounds about right. 2010 or 2011.
I'll take my 50 gold, thank you. Dead silence.
What 50 gold? 50 gold.
You made a bet. You didn't say what the stakes were, so I had to improvise that. But
you get to play poker with me, and you get the green number 2 Uno card, the get out of jail free card.
I will say I am super happy with Facebook right now. Side note here, they made a mobile game that's Uno.
Oh.
So now you can sit and you can play 4-player Uno on your phone, and it's fucking awesome. People are ruthless.
Oh. It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor.
We should end the show.
I don't want to end the show yet.
We're talking about nothing.
We're talking about how Venom breaking up with his girlfriend.
I know. All right. So to stick back,
and then she got really fat.
Yes, she did. So did my very first crush too. She was freaking gorgeous, and then she got like. Yeah, I am a death knell. I am bad for women. Stay away from me. I am just bad. I am no good. I'm awful. Anyway,
that's because you don't sing to them anymore.
Okay. I sing in the shower, and that's it. So back on the actual game. Is there any recent changes to the game that a player who's been out of the game or a novice who's not in tune needs to know to better their gameplay?
Don't leave heavy tunes on the map.
Fucking quit.
Upgrade, continue to upgrade and upgrade some more.
Okay, so knowing the knowledge, this is good. Knowing the knowledge that we all have, what priority buildings and priority things would you upgrade 1, 2, and 3? First thing you would focus on upgrading if you were to start an account right now, you want to maximize your benefits as a player in PvP.
PvP, you level up your storage and your tech center and your academy.
Right, storage, tech, and academy.
Yeah. In order: storage, then academy, then tech center.
Yes, 100 million for resources and 50 million in Thor. The way you can actually build the units that you actually get in Shadow Walks and different things like that.
All right, so you do your okay. That's cool. See, this is a good point. So players that want, because I know for a fact that I slow played my account, and it's cost me irreparable damage. You know, as far as being able to hold my own against anybody. I thought I was
push your offensive ability first and your defensive ability second.
Yeah.
Don't do your defensive crap first if you want to be a relevant PvP player these days.
Exactly.
Yeah, because back when we were low levels, if you were over level 30 and you were under level 26, no one over 30 could hit you because only 4 levels higher than you could hit you.
Yep.
So
4 up, 4 down.
I missed that 4 up, 4 down crap.
But as soon as you hit 30, the 4 up, 4 down was only till you hit level 30. As soon as you hit level 30, you could hit 4 levels lower than you, but anybody above 30 could hit you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you knew that by the time you got to level 30, you had to make a decision. Either is my base going to be strong or is my attack going to be strong?
And also there, during the events, once a month, you've got 1 week basically of cover from being attacked, usually, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then you can prioritize maybe maybe do a couple of bunkers during an event because you can skip the defense waves, you know, and use that every month, upgrade something different.
Yeah, that is right, KS. When KS Man of War hit level 30, I was the one that gave him his first bubble, and I was like a 42.
I remember when 38 and 39 was like the highest level player. It's like, you're a 39, oh my god, you're a monster.
Yep.
Now you got...
You saw someone that was a level 40, and you were like, oh, they must be rich.
Yeah. You're like, how, especially the players do not know the time that it took to do anything. Like,
well, back then, the highest upgrade, like unit level upgrade we had was like a day.
Yeah, but I mean, it was
13 days to upgrade your Vanquishers to max?
No.
I'm talking before Vanquishers.
No. The Mega Tank to get to max was
7.
3 months.
It took a long time.
Wasn't there 7-day upgrade in the Mega Tank at some point?
No, it was. I think it was a
5-day,
12-day or 13-day or something along those lines.
Yeah, that was indeed.
Yeah, it was bad.
So it was bad. And now you look at the Vanquishers, of course. I'll get to the highest levels like 16 days
Yeah.
for those that happen. Which is just ridiculous.
But the sweet thing was back then the platoons were a full tune of Mega Tanks dead. It's like 5.5 hours repair.
Yeah. Yeah.
And back then you could take that full tune of Mega Tanks and go do 10 or 20 bases.
Oh yeah, you use the great tactics, spread them out.
Yeah.
Send them all on fists as they closed in, circled the base. They just
Half Mega Tanks, half hovers.
Mm-hmm.
Hover tanks were my thing. I mean, I was like Jano. You know, God bless Jano. His videos and stuff taught me so much. I wrecked people with hover tanks. I never did all the same schematic. I always had different schematics.
My tune was 3 Vanquishers, 3 Elite Vanquishers, 3 Mega Tanks, and 4 or 5 hover tanks. And I would take that one tune and I would do 20 or 30 bases.
I seriously wish they would bring back a version there of the hover tank.
A legendary would be sweet.
I want a faction hover tank.
Their legendary version is the hover tank commander. I don't
want a legendary.
That idea the commander is.
I don't want a legendary. I just want a faction hover tank with all the same tech. Would be nice.
Okay. What faction would you attribute that to?
Sentinels.
The hover tank?
Sentinels.
No, fuck no. The hover tank, the way it's designed, is Corpus.
Sentinels.
Sentinels need it, but they won't get it. Sentinels need a fast-moving unit, and I hope to God we get it this event.
I want it to look like we would have gotten it last event. I want it to look like the hover tank commander, because then that would fit more into the Sentinel color scheme. Sure. I want it to be totally overpowered.
Okay, great. What about a hover tank for survivors or for Sentinels?
Ooh, survivors would be a good one too, because they were good in groups. Yeah,
they're good in groups, and I mean, you have
Paul.
There's really no
Rambo.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say, yeah, a hover tank I think would be better in survivors because the only thing you have is the technical, is a survivor unit, and the hover tank would fit nicely with the technicals. Because the technicals have, like we just expressed, those 3 separate outfittings of turrets. What if they did a hover tank with 3 separate turret mounts? You had the rocket launcher, you had the cannon, and then you had something, I don't know, some other thing. I would not go with flame, but maybe a cryo.
I don't know.
Fuck. Cryo would look cool. That'd be like
it's an ice shooting, like an ice, it's just like a garden hose, a freaking cryo.
It'd be like when the Night King resurrected one of Daenerys' dragons. Now it's all white.
Oh god.
The dragons.
Nerd alert.
It's Game of Thrones.
I know. But yeah, okay. So what if if you had that? Because then you could pair that up. You've got, Sentinels. Survivors really don't have a whole lot of that kind of tanking speed unit. The only
they got the disruptor. Yeah, they do. They got the hammer.
The hammer's not fast.
No, but it's
and
tanky.
The hammer. Yeah, I know, but the hammer's not fast, and the hammer can't strafe.
The hammer has good range and splash damage. It's like the vindicator of the survivors.
And over a long period of time of driving, they speed up.
Yeah. Well, it's a melee unit, and again, that's like you just said, it's the vindicator, or the then you have the war rig. The war rig can strafe fire, sort of. It's a melee unit. I don't know, or vanquisher. The hammer's like a vanquisher. And then I don't know. I think I would like to see that. That would actually maybe potentially convince me to not change from Corpus, but think about it. No, but I think you've got a unit in Corpus, the Hades. You've got the unit in the Corpus, which is the the Phalanx, which is like the Scorpion and that hover tank. Obviously, the Dark Storm is Corpus. And Sentinels, you've got units similar. You've got the Purifier, which is kind of like the Sentinels version of the Vanquisher. And then Sentinels could use a tanking unit that way too.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm shy of that is I wouldn't want people pairing, it's a stupid idea because a hover tank would outspeed everything if they kept it in the same vein as the original hover tank system. But like pairing caretakers with those would be awful.
KS, you played with fire for too long, my friend. I told him, he said he wants a unit that has built-in cryo but does a ton of damage like the Phalanx. And I said I want KS to shut up. He said never going to happen. So I asked him if he wanted to bet, and he said yes. So now he's timed out.
Yeah, I see. Imagine Medic today, Banshee again. Yeah, I'm reading all that stuff.
He just got timed out again. Let's see here. Let's go for number 3.
He's got like 19 accounts, dude.
Yeah.
And for Hunter Hamish. No, I'm not changing. I'm staying Corpus.
There are a lot of benefits to being Corpus that I really enjoy.
My problem is I'm not faction tied. I don't send platoons of strict faction units. I don't keep one faction unit in my base, so I never receive the buff. I just like the CC. It looks cool. That's the end of it. Alrighty.
All right, hang on. Zach, when you get a chance, when you get down to the jug, it has been said that the envoys 3 shots kill the juggernaut. So if you would, can you test that?
3 shots for the envoy? No,
3 shots for the envoy will kill the juggernaut.
That is a regular jug, so.
Yeah, I don't know about my Omega.
1 million health.
I would not know about my Omega jug taking 3 shots and dying. I don't see that happening.
Nope.
At all.
Nope.
Mind you, I have a level 37 going to 38. So don't ask me why. I was bored and there was nothing else to do. So I figured, oh, that'll kill 7 days or 10 days or whatever the fuck it was.
And I have to say this, Zach, you are owning those bases.
Yeah, you're doing a hell of a good job, dude.
Yeah.
I
want to know how many parts he has already.
I don't think you need all that stuff. You can do it with just that caretaker and that jug.
Well, you can
do it with a lot of things, but you can do it a lot easier if you bring everything.
Yeah.
It really isn't that hard. One attack, just kill it all.
But he's trying to do it with the least amount of damage possible. And he's doing a damn good job at it.
Same spot every time, that power plant, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The Kixeye's power plant is not upgraded in a way in that base.
I was hoping to see more power plants in Kixeye bases on the overdrive setting to give a little appreciation to players.
Has anybody noticed the difference in the health that has actually been implemented?
Yes, in the Shadow Out bases they have.
All right, yo, you notice the difference in that? I mean, on player bases.
Yeah, they are on overdrive. Some of them are on overdrive in the Shadow Out bases. They do.
No, he was talking about the health buff. If you notice that it's harder to kill them in player bases.
Harder. Oh no, I haven't tried it in a player base yet. So.
Hunter Hamish just asked, with regards to techs, is it worth waiting for all your buildings to be upgraded before you swap tokens?
Yeah.
It depends on the unit.
It depends. If you can get something like you're 3 tokens away from a level 20 unit, I would just go ahead and get the level 20 unit.
It depends on how many tokens you need.
Well, no, it's 3 factors. All right, it's 3 factors. It depends on what tier unit you are upgrading, how many tokens that unit is going to require for whatever level you're upgrading. Okay, if you want to see that 50% off token value, yes, it is beneficial. It really is. If you're willing to put in the work. The other thing is, remember, and I can't stress this enough, it was well reported and explained, and you can go back through the annals of Unshackled and find that episode, that they regated faction, or the new, not faction, but the new 3rd generation units. Their upgrade paths are gated to building levels. So certain units now
are level ups.
You have to level your building in concert with the unit. So you get to level 10 and you have another 5 levels. But if your building isn't level 11, you can't upgrade. I'm just using this as an example. This isn't exactly the numbers I don't think off the top of my head. But you can't get your unit to level 11 until that building that is gated to it is level 11. And then you can't get your unit to level 12 until that gated building is at level 12. Then you can't max the unit out to 15 or 20 until that building is maxed out. So you have to understand, sometimes it's not even a matter of, is it beneficial to upgrade all your buildings? It is actually a requirement to upgrade those certain buildings. Or you're never going to be able to upgrade your unit, even if you're sitting on all of the tokens. And it was said, and it was put in both Discord, I believe, and it was posted on the forums, and it was discussed. But many people overlooked it or didn't quite comprehend the change. It doesn't affect all units, but it's, at least for my understanding, it, although I've fucked up many times and mostly in the recent near past, but it's going to affect the majority of future units, especially Generation 3 units.
You know, it's really crazy that they added a whole bunch of net levels to the academy just out of the blue.
Yeah, you know, go figure. There wasn't a reason for that. Anything they add has a reason, and anything they add has a pain, a toothache to it. There's always causality, cause and effect. You have to have an effect. So if they add something to the CC, if they add CC 14 and they're giving you 5 more levels to the CC, they're doing it so that you have an upgrade path to unlock or upgrade something. They don't just give you a new CC skin without having a reason to force you to get that new skin.
I'm still wanting a downgrade button, so I do.
Well, you know, a lot of players, me included, I wanted an ability to remove buildings so that I wouldn't have to expand borders, etc. But at the same time, you can't have that because then it changes the number of buildings needed to kill for a 3-star, 2-star, 1-star. It screws with all the mathematics of what the values of each destroyed building represents in that 0 to 100% destruction scale. So, I mean, that's the other reason why I was miffed about the way that they rolled out the power plant thing, because in my mind, changing the values of the power plants for their health, changing the values of what buildings need power and don't need power, changes which buildings take priority in getting a 1-star, 2-star, 3-star. I would have expected that those values would have had to have been adjusted across the entire base. I don't know. I haven't seen that. It's just basically they buff the power plants and they giving you that overdrive destruction thing. But I don't know. Give us a week playing around. We'll see what happens. Is there anything in YouTube that anybody would like to discuss? If not, I think we're going to end this show. Airfield as well, yes. Hey, Paul. What's up, Rambo? Okay, okay, so
I think we're all good there, unless there's anybody wants, sure.
I cannot remember which building is it that gives you the when you purchase the techs, gives you the reduction in price. Is it the, let's say for the Envoy to get the Gen 3 tokens? Is it the
airfield buildings? It's the producer buildings.
Okay, so it would be the airfield, not the hangar.
Yeah. Even though you go into the hangar to access your techs.
Right. So there you go, Hunter. There, that answers your question. So you're going to have to max out your airfield.
Yes. I believe, yeah, you're right. The airfield, because mine's got all those extra levels. So yeah, the airfield, yeah. And you can access the training from the airfield as well.
Yeah. It doesn't matter which building you're accessing. You can access training from either your academy, your airfield, your barracks, or your war factory.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, let's wrap this bitch up. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Just smash that motherfucker.
All right. So we'll start first with our salutations with Anton. And you will not be available on Saturday, or?
No, I'll not. I'll be actually later back. I'm further away this time. They're away road racing.
All right. So this Saturday, somebody in the Unshackled community will certainly be hosting a 4:30 Eastern, which is what, 11 o'clock your time? Yeah. Very funny. Or is it 10 o'clock? Did you guys? You switched. You're not GMT right now. You're what? B something.
No, 9:30 GMT, so that'd be 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Western.
All right. So somebody will be hosting a European show.
That answers that question. A couple of shots from the Envoy does not kill the jug, just so everybody knows.
No, it doesn't. No.
So. Anyway, well, maybe maxed it might, but hell.
Maybe maxed Envoy and a low-level jug. Well, we'll see. All right, so there you go. Thank you, and Anton, please, the floor is yours now. I won't interrupt.
Yep. Again, thanks for the invite, everybody. Thanks there to everybody on the panel, the ones that left there, Paul, Godscope and Rambo and that there. And thanks for all the questions out on YouTube and stuff like that there. Thanks for everybody over this last week while for supporting me and helping out with all the shows and all that there. We've got a lot of new people, and I hope we get a lot more. And I think this one on Saturday, I don't know if Godscope's going to do it. It's going to be Ask the panel. I think it's going to be, if you're all interested in that, get your questions up on the pages, that there, on the Unshackled there. If you want any questions answered there, or you want to join the panel, we can get you better very, very, very quickly. 10 minutes it takes, and we are good to go. So keep it classy, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Dark Shadows, please, your shout-outs.
Do I really have to give some?
No.
But I'll give them anyway. I want to thank everybody out on the panel that has showed up. Venom for hosting the show tonight. Lady Warrior for watching out in YouTube from her phone since she's having PC issues. Kixeye, I want to thank you for all the hard work you're doing and trying to make this game better. I know there are going to be snags, bubbles, glitches, whatever you want to call them. There are all going to be people that are bitch about the changes because nobody likes change once you get set in your ways. Take it with a grain of salt. CM Bernie, Golden Doodle, Friendly Fixer, I Chase, and everybody on the Kixeye team, thank you for doing a wonderful job. Bernie, you're doing an excellent job with all the information that you are providing. Golden Doodle for coming out on the forums. Wrong Thinker for coming out on the forums. Everybody's doing a great job. Keep up the work. We love the information. The more, the better. Sometimes a little too much, but more is always better than less. So everybody out on YouTube, thank you for watching. All those viewers that will be watching later, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Destry.
I'm following Dark Shadow.
Wow.
Just
wait. I'm not.
You want to be in front of him.
Well, no,
I don't have a goat costume on. Quit following me.
Well, no, I gotta follow you, and I gotta wish you a early happy birthday. Other than that, I want to thank you guys for letting me on the show. Always enjoy the time here. You guys out on YouTube, awesome. Kixeye, you're doing pretty good. Love it. Yeah, you'll get it. And that's it. And OL chat or old well group. Thank you guys.
All right, Slim. I'm gonna regret this, but go ahead. Or maybe he can't. Maybe he's got too much background noise.
Mine includes a screen share.
Oh.
For those who are paying attention at the beginning of the show, David said $5 to anyone who could guess who the person on the picture on the Unshackled page was. This person right here. And with a quick Google search of robot woman video games, I found this was the person, and I found the name, and I can now go here and go base upgrades and go expand borders by 8%. Thank you. Shout out to David Dark Shadows for expanding my borders for me. I really appreciate that. Shout out to my clan, and y'all have a good night.
Nicely done.
Nicely done. All righty. Zachary, your final words and salutations, good sir. Want me to do that? All right. There you go. Shout out to the panel and to YouTube. Anything else? And he says, nope. Okay.
Fuck you, Doc.
Shout out to Hunter Image there, Lydia Warrior said there. So I think that's fair enough there. Hunter's a good kid there. We're about to get him on the show the odd time.
Yeah. All right. And with those wonderful words, I want to, first and foremost, I want to shout out all those viewers out there who stuck by us, the 30 or so that stayed throughout the feed, and all those that will watch this afterwards. A great deal of respect and a thank you to Zach for showing us as he went through those bases, kept us entertained visually. For David and Anton and Destry and Dark, obviously Slim Shady over there keeping me entertained mentally. And a great deal of respect and thank you to Godscope when he was here. And hopefully we'll get Rambo's mic fixed and he can come on. Hopefully Godscope will be able to do the Saturday show. We'll see. But at any rate, it will go on. We will not have another misfortunate missed day. But we'll figure something out. So stay tuned. Like, subscribe, smash that like button just for some. And make sure you double click on that bell so you get the notifications when we do go live, especially since there will be impromptu shows, I'm sure, throughout the summer season. And keep your eyes open for our Thursday episode event information shows when we have events. But you will see us same channel, Saturday, 4:30 Eastern. For War Commander Unshackled, we appreciate all you loyal fans, and we're out. Peace.